So people just assume that you're carrying loads of weight. I'm looking at you. You look slimmer than I've ever seen you look. Your face looks absolutely sharp, like you're fighting tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm 100% ready. I don't make excuses. I've got no excuses to make. Like, if I would have had like a week training camp, I tell you, I got nothing to hide. I've had a great training camp. I couldn't have had a better one, actually. I don't like big, long training camps. Maybe everyone should take a leaf out of my book and not be doing all these long training camps. It's stupidness. If you're already fit and you're already like in shape, you haven't got to lose 5 stone, then 3 or 4 weeks training camp's enough for any man if he's in the gym training.
And what about earlier this year when you were out here with Billy Joe Saunders? Because people mistakenly believed that was a training camp. There wasn't a training camp, was it? You were just out here.
I was out here on a bit of a training holiday supporting Billy Joe. That's all I was doing. Me and my son Prince. I was training every day. I always train every day. My life's a training camp. I was training twice a day. I was doing runs in the morning. I was doing a bit of boxing in the afternoon. And that was it. Like, there was no big special thing, but this year has been a non-stop training camp for me. So let me just reiterate what's gone on in this year. So obviously, I was supposed to fight in December of last year in England against Turkish guy, what's he called?
Yes.
Kabayel.
Yeah, Kabayel.
And it fell through with 2 weeks to go. I put 7 weeks in for that camp, yeah? So that took me up like 2 weeks before the fight was going to happen in December, okay? So then Sugar Hill went home after that camp, and he had 2 weeks in at his home, and I flew into Florida. And then I had another 3 weeks in Florida with Sugar Hill training. And then I came back to England, and then I was in training camp with my dad and Tommy for a month. That took me to February. Andy Lee started training in my gym with Joseph Parker in February. Then I had 2 months with them until April 10th. I was training with Joe and with Andy every day on all the camp, everything. And then I came to America after 2 months on April 10th for the start of the Billy Joe month with him. Then I was training in America in Vegas here for a month. Then I went out to Miami for 3 weeks and trained there for 3 weeks every day. And then I came back to Vegas and started 7-week training camp for the Wilder fight. And then it didn't happen. I came down with COVID 2 weeks before or 10 days before, whatever it was. Then I had about 4 weeks off after the COVID. I had 4 weeks totally off, just doing a few weights and strength conditioning. And then I went straight back into camp after a month off. So that's a full year of training camp, isn't it?
And there was the break in the last bit of that was obviously when you were stuck at Alderhay for a while. You were stuck in Liverpool.
Yeah, I was there for 2 weeks. That was including me month off, like.
Yeah.
So I had a month off after the COVID to there. I was 2 weeks there and 2 weeks over here. COVID traumatised.
So you never ballooned up to anything ridiculous in weight.
And even while I was at Alderhay, I was training with David Price. I was training with Christian. I was training with the boys. Like, I was running with my dad every day because I need to train to keep me going. Need to focus. So yeah, I never had any time off. I was at Alderhay for 2 weeks and I ran 12 times. And I'd done like strength conditioning twice a week.
But if people don't get to see you, people don't get to hear from you.
The thing is, why I'm not ready is because I've been off social media for so long.
Bingo.
I've not been allowing anybody to put anything on social media belonging to me. Any training footage, any strength conditioning footage. Yeah. I've not done anything. Christian's not done it. No one's done it. So when you're not on social media, all of a sudden you've gone on a mad bender because the world's controlled by social media. Or so it seems.
And you've put on 7 stone. And
I've put on 32 stone. I've not done a day's training. You know the score. But it's mainly my rivals who talk like this. Now, I've seen Eddie Earn said I'm not ready and I'm not focused. But wouldn't you think he'd shut up now after his man's been beat again? And he has no relevance here in Las Vegas with me, talking about me. So why does it matter to him what I'm doing? Like, I don't get involved in his business at all. Don't care what they do. None of my concern.
Does this feel slightly different, the build-up to this? I mean, do you feel the importance?
For sure.
A bit of weight, not weight on your shoulder, but that kind of pressure?
I don't feel pressure because it's just a boxing fight. But it does feel totally different. Like, pre-COVID was totally different. Like, it was a lot more bigger. This fight was massive. It was the biggest fight in 50 years, me and Wilder. And there was that much press to do whatever, and it was a joke, really. But now it's just like, this is the first bit of press I've done, and I've done a couple of interviews on Zoom. And I'm like, wow, massive fight. This is it. But this is the COVID world now, isn't it, I suppose? People can't travel over unless they've got a work purpose here. So it's crazy. It's crazy that the fight of this magnitude, people can't come and watch it and whatever. But It is what it is.
Now, we know in the second fight, which was basically round 13 of the first fight, so to speak, I know you consider this to be, round 20, if I'm not mistaken. And that's understandable. But in the second fight, you did exactly what you said you would do, exactly what Gordon Ramsay, the chef, and exactly what your father said he would do, and everybody in your team.
Gordon Ramsay bet round 7, and my dad as well.
Not only did Gordon Ramsay bet round 7, he said that you'd drop him with all sorts of punches twice, and he actually said live, he said he'll drop him with a body shot. Where did that come from?
I don't know. He definitely knows he's boxing. Old Gordon does, that's for sure.
But what I'm trying to make in my classic roundabout kind of way is, you caught him by surprise then, Wilder, and you never let him off the hook. You took good shots from him and you kept going to him. That element of surprise has surely gone. He knows what you can do. He knows you can move like the first fight. He knows you can get up like the first fight. And he now knows you can hurt him and push him back like you did in the second fight. The element of surprise has gone. Does that make it a harder night for you?
Not really. I don't believe in all that elements. I know there's a great book out there that people so much love called The Art of War. And it's all about deceiving and deception and the element of surprise. But I'm not a deceiver. I'm not a deceptive person. I like to tell everyone what's going to happen because then it's up front and they already know it. They can prepare for it. You know, if someone can prepare for it, it usually means they give you a better challenge. That's what I'm here for. I'm not here for no easy fights. I'm here for good, hard fights and to put on a good show in Las Vegas and test myself against the best. And that's what I'm here for. I'm not here to just knock Wilder out in one round. If it happens, it happens. But I would like a challenge. I've trained hard enough now. And I've been in this game long enough that I need challenges to raise me up and raise my game.
Do you feel like you're running out of challenges?
Yeah.
Or are there a few challenges on the horizon?
I got Deontay Wilder. He's my biggest challenge, and he always will be because he's got that ability to close the distance very quick and land hard punches where there's nobody else in the division who can do that. Not even the smaller guys. Not even Alexander Usyk can close the distance as quick as Deontay Wilder and do damage. He might close the distance and hit you in the face and do no damage, but Wilder can close it and KO you. So he'll always be the most dangerous.
I'm sensing that you would still like to fight Joshua. I know you didn't think it would happen, and this has nothing to do with baiting online, no social.
Yeah.
I get the sense that you would like to put your skills against a rejuvenated Joshua.
After I beat Wilder, which Wilder's a tough test for me, but after I beat him, I would have liked to fight Joshua. But it just seems now he keeps dropping decisions and stuff all the time that the reality of him beating me is getting less and less. So people, they still lose. They still pay for the fight, still want to watch it, but it's not as interesting anymore.
But if you had a spectacular rematch...
Even with a rematch, it's like, is he really going to beat the Gypsy King, a 6'9" man mountain who ain't never been beaten 13, 14 years as a pro? Yeah. And you've been being beat by kids on 2-3 weeks' notice and a cruiserweight. Although the cruiserweight was a good fighter, and so was the kid on 2 weeks' notice, people don't see that. They just see a fat little Mexican guy and a cruiserweight, pumped-up cruiserweight. Only real boxing fans know how good Andy Ruiz was.
How dangerous.
110 amateur fights and 105. And Ruiz, Olympic gold, this other guy, Olympic gold medalist and all that. Even Ruiz was an Olympian as well. Yeah. Went to the Olympics for Mexico.
You know, and I'm coming to the end, honestly, there's only a couple left. When I look at what you've got coming up, when I look at that future, what's keeping you going then, Tyson? Because it's not money, and if it's not belts, and if it's not a massive showdown beating the Brit, what's getting you out of bed in the morning?
Because there's nothing else, Steve. It's what I've lived to do. There's nothing else. I don't have anything else. Like, my brother Shane, he has his animals. He keeps, like, hens and stuff. Gets eggs.
On the farm?
Yeah, he's got, like, some Cocker Spaniels and things. And he loves to walk them and go across fields and all that sort of stuff. That's his passion. When he comes home from work, that's what he loves to do. He loves to get out and about with the animals and all that. And that's his hobby. I don't have any hobbies. My hobby's training.
Yeah. Which you need, though.
Which I need, but don't forget I've sampled everything else in life. I've been down the other route to going out drinking and partying and messing around. Casinos and whatever else there is. Nightclubs and bars and restaurants and all that. That's good for one day, but it's not a lifetime thing. And there is nothing else for me. When boxing's done, like, there is nothing else. I've done everything I wanted to do in my life. Like, I don't have any other ambitions. I'm not a businessman. I know that. I'm not someone who wants to venture off into other things. I've no interest in anything else. I like to stay in my own lane and keep my business to myself, like, mind my own business and don't get involved in anybody else's business, because every time I've got involved in other people's business, I always wind up getting burnt because I'm a fighter, a boxer, and I don't know anything about anybody else's business. And if I try to get involved in other people's businesses, I'm just a newcomer who knows nothing. And there's plenty of people out there, clever people, who can take you to school on their job, but then again, put them in a ring with me, and it'll be school time in my job. So I like to just stick to my own thing. I'm just a normal, humble type of man. I just don't do very much. I roam around Morecambe and go to the gym and back twice a day. And if I go on a holiday a year, great. I hate holidays. Can't stand them in my sight. I'm a workaholic. I love being at work. And it's not physical. It's not manual labouring, but it's very physical and it's very mentally stimulating, what I do. Boxing and all that, lifting weights and running. It's what I love to do. I don't want to do anything else. I don't want to be a property developer, a car dealer. I don't want to be anything. I just want to be what I am. And when I'm finished doing what I'm doing, that's it. I don't want to do anything else. I want to rear my kids up and my family and be left alone. And that's it. But that's probably the hardest thing that you can ever be, is left alone in peace and have a bit of peace. Because peace never really comes, does it?